Good evening, folks. I am Fred Macaulay, and just as Gemma was saying, we're kind of blending together people from the world of comedy and the world of marketing, something that Kenny did single-handedly. He was a guy that I had the pleasure of working with many times on the stand-up circuit, and it was a kind of surprise to me that he gave it up to kind of concentrate more on marketing, because he clearly was one of the better stand-up comedians that there was around Scotland in those days, and there weren't so many of us. We got started round about the same time. I think Kenny was maybe 1 or 2 years behind me, and we found our feet in the So You Think You're Funny competitions. And I was going to quote Kenny, because he had a brilliant line about that, which you have maybe all heard, but it's well worth repeating. But I'm conscious that there are youngsters in with us tonight. So, guys, it's nothing worse than you would hear in the playground, right, from the fucking headmaster, or on BBC television, which I heard as they now, as you know, they go around all the sort of minnow grounds, the sort of Division 3 grounds, to speak to people. What an incredible, I mean, as an ex-accountant, the statistics from Saturday, where Rangers had more people at their game than the entire Premier Division had at all of their other games. It's just extraordinary. But I like it when they go over to places like Stirling Albion. And this is actually a true one, because there's always just a bit of noise going on in the background. And there's some old geezer that's been going to matches for 50 years, and it's just a kind of indistinct, you fucking arsehole. Right? So every Saturday night you get that. So apologies, because Kenny said that there were 2 So You Think You're Funny competitions. There was the one at the Edinburgh Fringe, which we all went to, and then there was the one at Mayfest in Glasgow, which was called So You Think You're Funny, Well, You Fucking Arnie. Which I think typifies the Glaswegian or the West of Scotland sense of humour. Now, what Gemma didn't tell you was that there was a master document, a Bible, for tonight's event, ladies and gentlemen, that somebody has stolen. We will hear about it when they resurrect Call My Bluff, or when you next watch Would I Lie to You, or listen to Radio 4's The Unbelievable Truth, all of which have unashamedly copied what we're about to do here. You Cannot Be Serious, and rather cleverly have copied it some years in advance. Now, within that, there were the biogs of our contestants here tonight, and they've disappeared. So forgive me, as I've just been on the internet. I've Googled you all. So on my left, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mark Gorman. Round of applause, please. Mark is the younger brother of Scottish businesswoman Mary Gorman, and is currently on parole from a Florida jail for a sexual molestation case that he got involved in last August.
I was taking the photos.
Scott Morrison is the youngest member of the family who started the supermarket chain Tesco, and has never worked a day in his life. Scott Morrison. And Mark Mayer. Mark Mayer, ladies and gentlemen, which according to the internet is a comedian. On my right,
got that wrong.
We have Mark Herd. Mark has been in the Govan Police Witness Protection Scheme for a number of months since he bought Rangers for £1. His motto was, follow, follow, follow me to the 3rd Division. Roisin Donnelly, ladies and gentlemen, was All-Ireland River Dance champion from 1985 to 1989 inclusive. She works for Procter & Gamble in the warehouse, where she's currently an accounts clerkess. Don't know if I got that right. And Gordon Southern, and according to the internet, he's a comedian. So, our panels. The games are very straightforward. If you've seen any of them on the television, and I hope you're filming this, because I think we should submit it as a pilot. I'm feeling quite confident. Except I've got to keep the scores as well, and I can't see what's on there. I could flip this over and it might say, go have a, I don't know. So we're going to start off, and the panelists will read out a statement, ladies and gentlemen, and you can decide yourselves whether you think it's true or false. It's as simple as that. The opposing panel will then have the opportunity to question them. Even their own fellow team members can ask them the odd question, because sometimes even they might not believe what's going on. So we're going to kick off, and it's Mark Errol's first of all. Mark, would you like to make your initial opening statement, please?
Okay, here we go. I have had a private audience with the Pope.
Wow. A private audience with the Pope?
Private audience with the Pope.
Was he German?
No, I think it was the last Italian one.
Oh, right. 14th century.
Yeah. Proper.
I remember actually when no offence to any Catholic sin, but when Cardinal Ratzinger was elected, my youngest son said, "Dad, have you heard the news?" I said, "No, they've elected a rap singer."
See, I thought it was a product KFC had tried to roll out in the northeast of England. The Ratzinger. Spicy but crunchy.
Yo, 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 I used to be in the Hitler Youth. Now I'm the Pope, ain't that the truth?
Nice. Mark, how did you get this thing going? Are you and the Pope Facebook friends? Or?
No, he unfriended me, I'm afraid.
He unfriended you?
He unfriended me, yeah. No, when I was a student, I used to take Americans around Europe to find cities like this.
As a job, not as a sort of hostage thing.
There were temptations, but no, as a job. And one of the most popular places to go was Rome. And particularly the American Catholic high schools and Catholic colleges, they like to go to Rome. And
so does the Pope.
So he barely leaves it, I hear. And so on one trip there they said, "We've got an audience with the Pope lined up. Would you like to come?" Yes.
And you went, yeah.
Yeah, right then.
There you go.
Excellent.
That's
Scott, any questions?
No, it sounds like an ITV special, an audience with the Pope. And he wasn't singing any songs or anything, was he?
No, the gags were good though.
Oh, good. Okay. It sounds convincing.
Mark? You going?
You said it was a private audience. Was it a solo private audience, or were you?
It wasn't a solo private audience. Yeah, no, it was more like like an aircraft hangar.
Yeah.
Fill that with people, and that'd be slightly more intimate. To be honest, I saw him actually walk, so it wasn't the Pope mobile, and the doors were closed, so we couldn't escape, and that was it, really.
Did you tell your barber when you got back?
And I told my mum, she was dead chuffed. The most important thing I did in my life, I think, as far as she was concerned.
Mm-hmm. That's. It sounds spookily convincing.
Yeah, it does.
Is there a Dalek entering?
I don't.
Some sinister music.
He's lying. He's lying.
No, the truth detective.
I met the Pope.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Dalek's now become Stephen Hawking. I don't quite know why.
It sounds like the kind of tense music they would put on for something like this. Times on air. Maybe not quite appropriate. But
It's his pacemaker when he's lying. It kind of beats too loudly.
Well, I'm going to press you, Mark, for an answer.
Well, guys, we have to have a collective.
Wow.
That is definitely the countdown, isn't it? Yeah.
It's one of the dangers of doing a show in a tent, I suppose.
What do we think? What do we think?
I'm not convinced because he's too young for Italian popes. Well, no, I mean,
yeah. I've seen that headline.
Not back
then. How quickly we got to that.
Hang on, is that because altar boys is sometimes a verb?
Very good. Explain that to the kids in the audience. Now, what do you think, Scott? We've got a no here.
It's tempting, although he might be a bit old to be taking students around Rome.
So we're going to say
I don't know.
We're going to say it's a barefaced lie.
It's a lie, you
It's a
say.
lie.
Okay,
It's a lie,
Mark,
Mark.
would you tell us whether you're telling the truth or a porcupine?
It's true.
You shouldn't have listened to me.
What do you two know?
And if I'm not much mistaken, that's a point to the blue team. Well done.
Yeah, no, before him.
All right. Okay, well done.
Okay.
When did you do that?
Oh, God, 83?
Right, okay.
Wow.
And how many times were you in the Vatican?
Well, quite a lot, but that was the only time I got close to anyone of any excitement. The rest of them all just wandering around in cardinals' uniforms, very smart.
I have been in the Vatican once myself, and back in the 70s, 1978, and we got on the train out of Rome. We were interrailing, and the next day we stopped off in the south of France, and the big news was that the Pope had died, actually, when we were in the building.
Was that the John Paul?
Yeah.
Because he's my favourite pope because he was Polish, Former goalkeeper.
Not before him.
Right,
Yeah.
and his name, John Paul, half the Beatles. What's not to love?
All right, kicking off for the green team, it's Mark Mayer. You're first to go, comedian Mark. You're not doing a show here in Edinburgh this year, are you?
No, I thought I'd save some money. I was the Pope and Mark. No, that's not. I'm an American. No, I do. This is true. All right? It's true. I have a fear of being chased by wolves around a kitchen table in my socks on a wooden floor. I'm in my socks, not wolf.
The wolves aren't.
In the socks. And it's actually got a name. It's called lepophobia.
Right. That's a very specific fear, isn't it?
Well, it came from dreams.
Right. Chased round the kitchen.
Chased around the kitchen table in my socks.
In socks, but by wolves. Okay.
Well, first question is, do you have any wolves in your kitchen?
Not as far as I know.
Good,
No.
because that would really frighten you.
Yeah.
In some ways, that'd be better, though, because it'd be real. It'd be real.
That wouldn't be a dream.
Yeah, it would be a dream.
Yeah.
How does this fear manifest itself?
I shit myself, really, to be honest with you. I mean, not physically, metaphorically. I wake up in a hot sweat and feel incredibly uncomfortable, and it's quite a specific recurring dream of wolves. And I'm just running around in a semi-naked state in my socks, and they're chasing me repeatedly. I think it must have been some sort of childhood film, something that I saw that...
Doesn't ring any bells with
You know,
me. I've seen a lot of films.
It wasn't Dancing with Wolves, Chased by Wolves, brackets in socks. I don't know what caused it, but it's something very serious, and I'd rather you didn't mock it, all right?
Not the boy who cried wolf, but the boy for whom wolves make you cry.
Correct.
Do you feel the same way about the football team from Wolverhampton?
Being chased by the entire Wolverhampton...
The entire Wolverhampton Wanderers. To be fair, you could probably outpace them.
In my socks, yeah. No, it's specifically the wolfy beast.
Right.
That.
Because you were a shepherd at one point in your childhood, I imagine. No.
News to me. Possibly, I don't know. No,
I just realised I'm the team captain. What do we reckon, gang? Do you think he has a fear of being chased by wolves or not? Machine.
I would say this is a really difficult one because, it's in his mind.
It's in
I
there,
mean, he could just say, yeah, I do. Of course I do.
What colour are the wolves?
Pardon?
What colour are the wolves?
It's their orange tops that get
sort of browny colour.
Wolf-coloured.
Yeah.
It couldn't just be huskies, could it?
No, definitely
An Alsatian?
wolves. No. Pardon?
A poodle?
Oh, come on.
A Chihuahua?
No. Keep going. More
Have
dogs.
you had any therapy?
Pardon?
Have you
Well,
had
this is what
therapists
I went to
cure
see. I went to see a therapist about it, and it was actually quite embarrassing to explain the whole thing, and the specificness of and they said there was this name for it, which I thought was kind of weird because it's quite a specific thing. But I felt sort of pleasantly, I suppose, relieved at the fact that there was a name for it, showing that there are other people around the world who are also mentally ill. No,
are you just wearing socks, or are you fully clothed?
Could you?
I've got an image of you naked, but for socks, which I'm sorry to share that.
Yeah, I don't think that's semi-naked, is it? That's
my
generally.
It's been looking at my Facebook page.
Right. So just shod.
Time's just about up. The question I would have asked would have been, would you be entirely comfortable maybe in your dining room, semi-naked, just in your socks with a pack of wolves? I mean, are you okay, or is the front room okay? Just the kitchen.
I'm afraid you can't answer the question.
But that's why I'm...
That's, yeah. Well, I suppose there's a health and safety issue as well, because wolves aren't that hygienic in a kitchen environment, I imagine.
And you're not going to get much purchase in the linoleum.
I'm thinking it's going to be quite skiddy.
Well, that's why I'm in the socks.
That's the socks.
If it was carpeted, you might
wasn't
be all
wearing
right.
So it's like that dream where you're running in slow motion, but you're also being pursued by wolves, and you're in a kitchen. There's sharp things, there's cookers, there's a fridge.
What do we reckon then?
It's
Blue
terrifying.
team, I need to... Pardon?
I think the esteemed stranger might be correct. I think he might be lying. What do we reckon?
Yeah, lie.
That is BS.
Going for a lie.
It was, in fact, a complete and utter lie.
It was.
Sorry, Fred, could I just ask my mother not to get involved in the future? If she could just keep it down a bit, please.
2-0 to the blue team. Next to tell us a truth or a lie is Gordon Southern. Right. Currently appearing in A Brief History of History at the Gilded Balloon.
At the Gilded Balloon at 6:15, already nominated for 2 International Comedy Awards. Right. Wow. Plug done. Now, here's what happened to me. On Halloween, I went out dressed as a bunch of grapes, and somehow there was a lot of alcohol involved, but I ended up getting in a fight with a banana. I should explain, this was a man dressed as a banana, just as I was dressed as grapes. We had a sort of a fruit fracas. He tried to pop the grapes that were all dotted around me, and then, as revenge, I tried to peel him.
How many drugs had you taken at this stage?
I was not on drugs. It looked quite surreal, but there was just a lot of alcohol involved, it being Halloween, and we were at a nightclub in London.
Sherry? Because
Was there any sherry?
Trifling incident.
That's Christmas, isn't it?
Oh,
That
it was
guy.
in my gift to give bonus points. you wouldn't get
Hold
one.
them, hold them.
So tell me about the grape costume. How is it?
The grape costume, so imagine, I don't know, I suppose I was dressed a bit like hemorrhoids. I had these sort of purple balloons all over me, which he was popped, so I looked like, red grapes.
How did you make the decision to be dressed as a grape?
Grapes, a bunch,
sorry,
not just a
a
singular.
bunch.
I don't know. It was obviously a fruit-based fancy dress party. So there was, there was apples, oranges,
didn't
pineapples,
mention
you
that.
name them, they were all there.
Okay.
And I don't know why we got into this fight. I mean, there's a lot of alcohol involved. But he started
who
popping
was
me,
having this
and I went to peel
fruit-based
him.
party?
And then, sorry?
Who was having this fruit-based party?
Who was having? It was a neighbour in London who threw a Halloween party.
Were they dressed as a fruit as well?
The host was dressed as an orange, I believe.
Right.
And so that was, obviously the orange pulled me off.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
That's the
sound
wolf
right.
story.
And then the fight started.
That sounds like half-time at football, doesn't it? Pull you off at half-time, the old boss used to just give us an orange. That's the
He's a
joke.
great guy. Great guy.
What time's your show?
So it's at 6:15.
Did you go with anyone, or were you alone?
I was with my housemate, and he was a pineapple, but he was not present to break up this disturbance at the time. He was in another room.
Sounds like a complicated costume. To manufacture.
Ironically, he was having punch while I was punching people.
How was the thing resolved? Did you...
We were great mates afterwards. We just said, look, that was all a bit
mates.
silly, but the costumes were ruined. But then it is, it's just a one-off thing,
Yeah.
so we didn't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the potential for comedy must have been great. I mean,
You'd have
again,
thought so,
there
but
was
here
a
we are.
banana just, whoa.
Because he kept saying to me, I think he was a fan of Cracker Jack, because he kept saying, oh, I could crush a grape. You remember that guy's catchphrase? Anyway, and
He tried to. Mother! Take her
You've
out,
won a
somebody.
pencil.
Someone dressed as a nectarine in the
If
audience.
we do like a bit of audience participation, so if any of you, the rest of you recognise words, you just shout them out as well.
Because that's not a heckle, that was lovely, that was joining in.
That
That's like the
was, yeah.
Microsoft paperclip. I see you're trying to do a comedy show. Can I help? That's very welcome. That's fine.
So,
Presumably-
time's up.
These costumes must have been quite bulky. So was it a large house that you had this party in?
It was a...
Greengrocers.
Well, no. Some artificial turf everywhere and incorrect use of apostrophes.
Yeah.
No, it was a split-level Victorian converted house. So there's about 5 rooms.
And where was it?
In Brixton, South London.
I can imagine
sounds-
everyone walking
sounds-
home
sounds-
dressed
And it
as
was,
fruit from
just in
there.
case you're
Team
interested,
captain?
October the 31st.
Weird. Well, that's so
Spooky.
crazy. That is so
Crazy.
I think it sounds. I think
I don't know. It sounds
team.
true.
I think it sounds true.
It
to
does
me. I
sound
think it's
true.
true. I think
It's the sort of thing.
It's the sort of thing I can just see. I can see Gordon
can
covered
see
in
me
grapes on a
dressed
regular
as-
basis. Yes, I can.
Dressed as a Sainsbury's.
Yeah, being chased by wolves. Funny enough.
I
can
think
see him as a.
it sounds to me like the kind of thing that inspired Harry Hill to cut to the break.
Yeah.
Yes. Grapes and banana. Fight.
That would be awesome.
So, Mark
Yeah.
Mayer, what are you going to go for? Is Gordon
I'm going to
telling
take
the
that
truth?
responsibility and go with the truth. It's going.
Well done, because I was lying.
Oh, what do you mean? I knew that. It's too late now. I knew that.
Okay.
You,
We like to come from behind.
Whitewash.
you make me sick.
Okay, it could be time now for you to get your first point on the board. Halfway through the first round, it's fairly zipping by. Mark Gorman, your statement, please. Come on, Mark.
Oh, little ripple.
Props.
Kind of adds to it.
Does anyone speak Klingon?
This is what I used To terrorise my work colleagues with.
A fart
Can I
machine.
ask what it is? Is it a fart machine?
It's a fart machine.
Wow.
Again?
Were you working in the NHS at the time?
No, actually, I was working in an advertising agency.
And would you secrete it in rooms that you weren't in so that you could remotely make the noise of farts from outside that room?
Sometimes.
Right.
But sometimes I would be very close to the
What other
recipient.
functions does that machine have?
As far as I'm aware, none.
How much does it cost? Was it from Poundland?
$6.99?
$6.99 for that. Wow.
I can't honestly remember, but in that region.
Because I reckon that could easily be a free iPhone app now. So that's quite old technology, I'm
It
guessing.
is quite old technology, but it still works. And you don't need an iPhone for it to operate.
Yeah, but then you can't make calls on that, to be fair.
You can actually. Come on. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I switched it off, Mark, sorry.
Oh,
I took a view.
that's gonna make appearances all evening.
Well, I'm tempted because you work in advertising or marketing, correct?
Advertising, I did.
Right.
in
And
those days.
since you're sat at this panel, you're evidently one of the funny ones.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you could be the judge of that.
you think it's true?
I don't. I think it's false. I think it's false.
Was it good for morale, or did people think, there's Mark with his fucking machine again?
Well, one of the girls who was the chief recipient of this actually
Took
had...
her own life.
No, but she had to have therapy.
She had to have therapy because you tormented her with
Fart noise.
Incessantly.
fart machine.
For a full week.
You just didn't know when to stop, did you?
I didn't know when to stop.
I'm tempted to believe it's true. She's adamant. That
Go on then. Go on then.
Shall we go with it?
One adamant, one tempted,
One adamant, one waver.
sceptical.
We're going to say it's true.
True, you say. Did you terrorise your colleagues with your fart machine?
Yes.
You did.
4-0.
You bring props.
4-0.
You bring props, it kind of gives
Do we
it
get a
away.
point for bringing a prop?
No. It's not unassailable, but
That was the object round.
Roisin, can you extend the lead even further? It's your turn to make a statement.
Okay. When my first husband proposed, he was advised to give me a rock, so he gave me his most prized possession, which was part of the Berlin Wall. And here it is.
Where's the ring he put it on?
He didn't put it in a ring.
Uh-huh.
He just gave me part of the Berlin Wall. He's still my husband.
Can I have a wee look?
You can have a look.
So
Did
the
he put
first
it in the
husband
Tiffany
was
bag?
just
Oh, no, sorry, this is...
a little
it's-
diversion.
Oh, let's have a little
No,
bit of a
it's
look.
Can we check for any
Hang on.
stylish
Yeah.
graffiti?
Your first husband and current husband is the same bloke?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a Terry Woganism.
Just seeing slightly into the future.
I just need to have a more thorough test. Has anyone got any Rizzler paper? And
Could we see the packaging
somebody
as well?
smoked the Berlin
Right,
Wall.
you're
I think
popping
that's
a
what
wee
it's-
bit there,
This
fellas.
is so, and this is very valuable. Can this be authenticated that it was in fact part of the Berlin Wall, or you just got to take his word for it? You might just found a bit.
I
Of,
wasn't there. It was the last holiday that he went on without me, so I wasn't there.
Stag do.
That's bad timing
Well,
for a stag do, isn't it?
the old Berlin Wall stag do.
It's the old collapse of communism, my mate's getting married combo.
Worked. I noticed a bit of graffiti on there, a little corner of some Stalinist graffiti, so I'm tempted to think that that is true.
What was your reaction when he gave it to you?
The same as he had proposed 7 years earlier, and I declined.
Right, 'cause
What did he
This
present?
is a pebble on the beach, was that it? Or something? It's from Cornwall. Sorry. And you need to do better. Go to Germany. Get me part of the wall.
You've got to admire his determination. 7 years of being knocked back, and then I'm going to make it happen.
But it was the 7 years of political activism that caused the wall to come down. I'm impressed by it.
If you'd knocked him back again, would you have then had to go to the moon to get a bit of moon rock?
Not David Hasselhoff, is it? You meant it?
It's the
Well, no, it was true. David Hasselhoff
the king
and
of the
Bono
wall.
were both there tearing it down with their bare hands.
Yeah.
It was quite a scene.
Absolutely.
I think
Well,
that's false.
he had a hammer. But he also suggested that I should, like the communist countries, be freed from my left-wing roots
Yeah.
and marry him.
Did you ever check your neighbour's garden for the remarkably similar gravel that they had?
Missing bit of patio.
Did he collect the piece of rock himself, or did he buy it in a rock shop?
He collect.
No, he went when the wall was
Right.
coming down.
And chipped it off.
He drove there with some friends, and they brought back various bits, and they had taken it off with a spanner, which was in the boot of the car.
But he only had one bit for all that
No,
effort.
they had other bits, and who knows, maybe his friends also proposed.
Yeah.
You could have done that sort of jealous wife thing of going, I see
Swapping
Martin's
it.
wife got a slightly bigger bit of rock. What makes her so special? Get back there. There was none
To
of
my
that.
knowledge, none of the other friends proposed with the rock, but they still have their rocks. So we can make a jigsaw puzzle of
they-
wall, a very small wall.
Time's up.
Oh.
Time for the green team to make
So-
a decision.
Don't be fooled by the rock she's got. Is she Roisin from the block?
Nice. I think it's a true one. We think it's a. We've
I
got to
think
claw a
it's true.
point back. Let it be true. Let it be true.
Yeah.
We think
Roisin,
true.
It's true.
this is the comeback we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
4-1, and we come to the end of round one with Scott Morrison. Scott, your first statement, please.
Can we turn that machine off? It's nothing.
No, it's not the machine.
Okay. It's a very straightforward one, actually. I was once a hand double for Will Smith.
Don't make any appropriate gestures.
Not a porn star.
A hand double for Will Smith.
Right, okay. And how long did you have that hand job for?
Much longer than I wanted.
I said nothing untoward. It was just that was your mind.
I misinterpreted it. I'm sorry.
Right, was this the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or was this one of his movies?
Bell End.
Did I say Bel End? I meant
No, I
Bel-Air,
didn't.
sorry.
I've had a drink.
That's what you heard. It was for an advert, actually. It wasn't for a movie or a...
Will Smith. Oh, because of course you work in marketing. That makes sense. So, what did you have to do that Will was not prepared to do with that hand? Was it a stunt hand job?
Yeah, well, you could say that, yeah. It was moving suits backwards in a wardrobe because Will couldn't do the actual event for a well-known shampoo brand. And I was asked to do the hand jobbing of moving the suits back to reveal a safe that contained the said product.
What was the said product?
Head and Shoulders.
Ironic with you, isn't it? Because maybe
Double
you've got
whammy.
back. I don't
Double
know.
whammy. Yeah.
What is this
Rashid
product
commission,
you talk of?
I just have hairy shoulders. That's
Right,
what it is.
okay, so
He does. I mean, I've heard it.
Did the hand actually appear in the final cut?
Yes, it did.
And did you receive equity money
I did
every time
indeed.
it was repeated?
I'm not an equity member, but I receive royalties. I was bought out.
for an
So
appearance.
how much
for an
did
appearance.
Head and Shoulders pay your hand?
Well, I don't want to tell that to you, do I? Because you
I
go
want a
through the
refund.
accounts. It was
One of
about
your
it was
products.
£500 I got paid.
£500. What did Will Smith
Easy,
get?
Will-
A little
easy
bit more?
hand job.
Did Will get
Yeah.
a little bit more?
Well, he would have done, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
An arm and a leg for Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
very good.
6:15 at home.
I'm tempted to believe
I'm
this
tempted
is
to
true
believe this.
because it seems, plausible.
Yeah.
And I imagine you'd have been the only black man there. So they said, "You've got the job simply because, what?"
Just trying to make you feel uncomfortable. What are you saying?
I'm not
The only black man where is what I want to know. What, in Brixton? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Let's
No,
put him
'cause
under,
that
let's
was-
put him under the cosh.
That's
See
what
if
they wanted,
sweat.
right?
He doesn't dress up as fruit in Brixton. Subliminally racist. All right.
See how quickly we got to there as well.
Yeah.
Roisin off mic has just said this all fits in with his timeline of his career.
Right.
So
But
Roisin is
he
actually.
may know that and be bluffing.
So it could be a bit of double bluff.
Well, I know Rasheen's from P&G, so I'm also maybe stirring the pot that way.
Oh, time's up.
Yeah,
Well, that's
just-
the bell.
just good
Yeah.
timing.
What do we reckon, gang?
Yeah, I reckon true.
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 They're going for true.
We're going for true.
It was true.
Yes.
Have you ever met them? Did you meet them?
No, not at all.
I'd love to see that when you went to shake hands with them. You went,
£500 handshake.
well, look at that.
Needs a good second.
5-1, yes.
Right.
As
like
the
England,
saying,
Germany all
telling
over
the-
again.
Everything to play for. And we kick off with Mark Earls.
Okay, when I was younger, I used to steal my dog's treats and eat them.
What was your dog called?
Shandy. Not my choice.
Ham Shandy.
Weird.
Dog hand shandy, even weirder.
Was it?
Were you not fed or what? What was I?
No, I just like chocolate. That's the thing.
What was the name? What was the name of the treat?
Good boy doggy chocks.
Someone just can't take the news. They're off.
They've actually gone to get some from one of the food outlets.
Excellent.
And how did they compare to, say...
They're more like
Dairy milk.
Hershey's than dairy milk.
But dogs can't eat chocolate, as I understand, because it gives them diarrhea.
That's correct.
Yeah,
So that's not true, is it?
but they are doggy chocks.
Yeah.
They did have
That's-
doggy chalks.
And I think in all canine history, in fairness, Scott, a dog's never said, not for me, thanks.
Couple of poodles, maybe.
Well,
I'm watching my weight. I'm watching my weight.
We'll all regret this later
It's only
on,
when they
so-
shit all over the carpet that you realise that it's not good.
I do the same.
Did this help you to sit or beg or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I've always been very well behaved like that, so and obedient. Yeah.
How did the dog react badly?
Yeah, we had a tussle at one point, which left me with scars. Which is
Can you
actually-
show the scars,
I have
please?
scars on my finger. You can't see them from here.
Could
but
you pass them around the room?
I can verify he has scars.
Scars
They
on
were
my
dog
finger.
scars
No,
because
scars from the tin, because they've come a tin with a nice edge
Oh, I
on it.
see.
Oh, a tin. It's unusual.
The dog was sniggering in the corner. So
Yeah.
you're right.
And how common was this occurrence?
What? The eating the dog
eating
chocolate?
of the snacks.
Well, I'm quite not very controlled with my chocolate habit, so whenever.
How old were you?
And
Must have been 7 or 8.
Okay.
And in human
did your
years,
parents
that's
react?
over 60.
How did your parents react to this? Do they know?
Yes, they did. Yeah, got told off regular.
You get spanked and had to sniff your own
Yeah,
wee.
and as a result, that stuck with me all the way, and I still eat the chocolate. And
You
still do it?
No,
You
no, joke. No.
So, hang on. So you used to get the tin out of the cupboard, open it yourself,
Yeah.
have a tussle with the dog,
Yeah.
and still eat the chocolates and
Yeah.
get a telling off
Yes.
at 7.
Yes.
Okay.
and sent to the doghouse.
Sorry.
And sent to the doghouse, no
And
doubt.
sent to the
And
doghouse.
the dog was called Shandy.
Shandy.
Well, that's what Sean Connery used to call it.
And what?
What sort of dog was it?
Sandy.
Yeah. What
All
was it?
right, some of these
Cocker
jokes are
Spaniel.
shit.
What is it?
Cock spaniel.
Thanks, Gordon.
Cock
Why was it
spaniel?
called Shandy?
Why was he called Shandy?
I don't know. My sister called it that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You know, you give kids a dog, and one of you gets to choose. You don't get a vote.
Yeah. I think he's talking a lot of doggy treats.
I do as well.
Well, you've got 10 seconds to make up
Dog
your mind.
quality.
True. What do we think? You think true?
Personally, I think it's true, yeah.
You think false?
I think false.
Oh, dear.
Majority.
Captain's decision
bend the
then.
rules, and the audience thinks it's just a load of cattle noises. I'm gonna go false. Please let me
You've
false.
gone for false.
It's false.
Well done. It sounded
I knew it was
perfectly
false.
plausible to
Yeah.
me.
Sweating.
That's amazing.
Bead on. Gave it away. Bead on.
Yeah.
This is getting exciting.
Oh, look at that.
No, not quite. Mark, it's your turn.
Me.
Mr. Gorman, yes. Let's hear your next statement.
At university, I posed naked to raise money for rent.
To raise money for rent.
Is that what you paid to a landlord or the musical?
To the,
Somebody's
to the
very
landlord.
close to the mic.
You posed naked for rent. Okay. Was it in an art class?
Yes.
How often did they
I
ask
thought
you
you
to
said
come
was, an
back?
art, was I at art school, but no.
No.
It
How
was an
often
art-
did they ask you to come back to pose?
Never. Only the ones.
So how did the conversation go when you got into doing this? Did they go, yeah, hard times for all of us, but here's an idea. Come and take your clothes off.
Well, they don't necessarily look for Adonai when they're looking for models for life classes. So, you know, it takes all sorts. But unfortunately, it was a bit embarrassing, and I didn't do very well.
And where did it take place?
In Stirling.
And are any of the people at the class currently your friends on Facebook?
Oh no.
What was the hourly rate for which you were paid? And well done for having the plural of Adonises is Adonai. I did not know that. That's an amazing fact. Because you don't get, they tend to be solitary figures, the Adonises. So to have a group of them together is quite rare.
Not in Greece.
But Stirling.
But in Stirling.
Sterling.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Adonis
true.
hour.
Well,
Don't go
true,
out.
that's
It's
true.
place will be packed with Adonises. Leave it an hour.
I think they shipped them in from Edinburgh and Glasgow.
What physical condition were you in at the time?
Probably, to be honest, worse than now.
Right.
I'm in prime position at the moment.
So
Peak
how much were you
Peak
paid?
condition. I can't remember. It was 1979.
It's not all about the money.
Yeah.
And what was your rent?
The rent was. I lived in the Raploch, so it wasn't very much.
Oh my goodness.
Next to Mad Mags Haney, actually. It was about £20 a week. And I think it paid for a week's rent. But I can't be sure of that. About that.
Okay.
And how cold was it in the art studio? Did you have any embarrassing shrinkage?
To be perfectly honest, there wasn't a lot for it to shrink, so...
Honesty.
No, it was,
Listen to that disgruntled former lover.
That was one of his team.
once. Actually, the opposite was the problem, because it was really quite warm, and I was quite nervous. I
Question
did
from the floor,
not
did you get an
a
erection?
Stiffy, no.
Did you have your fart machine with you?
Oh, if only I had.
It's good there's people in the audience making notes.
Well,
I referred to an earlier.
Great callback. Well
yes,
done.
very good. I love the fact that
yeah.
you've come to a comedy show with your own comedy just in case. Safety first, son. Bring your own just in case they've got none up there. Right.
So, what do we reckon?
Yes, that was my Scottish accent.
Did
You're
Mark,
welcome.
did Mark get his bobby out for the purposes of rental?
I think yes, but you think yes, you think no.
No. Again, a
As the
split in
captain, I
camp.
get the casting vote. I'm going to say yes. You got naked for cash.
I didn't.
Oh!
We're making a comeback.
Game on!
Mark Gorman. Yep, in 1979, Mark was at Stirling University and he did pose naked but got no money for it.
The first time that's ever happened in a live drawing class.
That's right. But a bit like tonight, there was some inappropriate laughter. Gordon, over to you. Gordon Southern,
Right.
A Brief History of History, nominated for the New Zealand
6:15.
Comedy Festival.
6:15. Right. I used to play American football at the highest level.
What, at 6'3" or what? Yeah.
In
The
Great
NFL.
Britain.
What,
In
what,
Great
what
Britain.
is the
I'm
highest
sorry,
level?
the speed round comes later.
What is the highest level?
I played in a national championship
That's not the
in
highest level.
1988.
In America?
No, in Great Britain. So
right.
at the highest
Pretty
level
much
in
the
Britain.
lowest
Oh, the
level.
highest level in Britain.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
that's
okay.
like Rangers
Like
saying
being-
they play at the highest level.
Yeah, like being, I don't know, the best tennis player in Britain until recently.
All right.
What position were you?
I was a running back.
What are the different positions?
Um,
Running forward, running
Right.
sideways,
I'll
standing
do this.
still.
Centre, guard, tackle, tight end, wide receiver, running back.
That's just a
And quarterback.
Quarterback.
Who's the captain? He's
With
like
cheese.
the captain. He's the central chap.
Okay.
Defense, as the Americans say.
Defense, he means defense.
Yeah, but I was doing it in America.
Nose, tackle, defensive ends, linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties. Yeah? Happy? Happy?
Thanks.
Are you ready to make it?
In any of the matches, did you dress up as grapes?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't a mascot. I did actually participate.
What was the name of the team?
They were called the...
Brixton Grapes.
No, I grew up in Essex, so they were chelmsford Cherokee.
Ooh,
Oh,
scary.
And we had little
Wow. Genius.
things.
So
Like
Chelmsford,
tomahawks on the side of our hats.
Ooh,
or
that
helmets.
must have terrified the opposition.
Yeah. And our chant was, "Who are we?" And our fan would shout out, "Cherokee." And that's how we terrorised the
then-
opponent.
Okay.
so Chelmsford are absolutely shit at everything in the sporting
They're quite
world,
good at financial
apart
services
from
and
American
banking, I
football,
think.
which they play at the highest level.
So well, it was the highest level that I could have achieved at the time because it was youth American football.
Did anyone else make it from your team in the big leagues?
No. You know what? I don't know. It was a long time ago. But I know that I also played at Warwick University, and one of our players was from UCLA, which is quite a good university. And he was our best player by a country mile.
What was your highest score in a match?
In my entire career, I've only ever scored one touchdown. So the answer is 6 points.
What was your average yards run in a game?
Very low. I'd say probably something about 1 to 2.
Could you just, without actually doing it, using the water bottle, just demonstrate how you would throw? Just let's see. Just
the
the sort of-
quarterback.
Grab the side of it. This is what the quarterback would do.
Yeah, of
And
course.
then you sort of throw it like that, and your fingers go in that motion so that you achieve a spiral with the ball. Fun fact.
There you go.
Well, I'll tell you, if it's a
Right
lie,
to
he's
the
certainly
end
done
of
his
the
research.
Certainly has. I think we've got to go with true.
I think we've got to go with true. Yeah, true.
It is true.
Yes! Could they?
Winning a point.
Could they come back?
5-4.
Really? Could they?
And 3 rounds to go. Well, 3 truths or lies to go. And the next one is Mr. Mark Mayer.
We can edit that out.
Are you coming back to Edinburgh to do a show next year, Mark?
Absolutely.
Good man.
I've no idea what it's called.
This one.
Pardon?
Yeah.
This one. Can I be? Yes, please. Chased by wolves. Here's my lie, or truth. Who knows? I have had my nipple tweaked by Mickey Rourke. My right nipple, I should point out. Mickey Rourke has mother. They'll be asked to leave the venue. Mickey Rourke, he of famous things, has
Right.
tweaked
Which
my-
Mickey Rourke was this? Was this young, handsome, promising actor Mickey Rourke, or man who looks like a melted Halloween lantern Mickey Rourke?
He and I were at a party, a Halloween party. He was dressed as a. Yes, it was the. It's the old.
So a long, long time ago.
No. Very
quite
recently.
recently?
Very recently. Yes.
So post Wrestler the movie.
Around the time of the wrestler.
Around the time of the Wrestler.
Were you in the wrestler?
That's how we met.
Were you in the wrestler?
Pardon?
You were in the wrestler, were you?
I was his leg double in the wrestler. My entire body was his leg. I had to shave and just wear leg. It was around. It wasn't in the wrestler, but I met him as in connection with the wrestler.
Now, was this, because I know you spent some time in America, was this in the UK or America?
This was in the UK,
London?
for sure. Come on, guys.
Was this an evening event? Or
Pardon
was
me?
it with an evening event?
Excuse
or
me,
was-
sir?
Yeah. Was
Hello?
this the incident?
Yes,
Of
it
the
was.
tweaking.
It was at the BAFTAs. I was at the I was invited
right.
to the BAFTAs, and I'd had a few drinks, and so had Mickey. And I said to Mickey, "Can I get my photograph taken with you?" She said, "Sure, buddy, come over here." And he
was
put
it
his arm around
a bit
me.
of a reach around then.
And he put his he said, "Sure, buddy, come over here." And he put his arm around me and tweaked my nipple. And because I'd had a few drinks, I tweaked his nipple back. So there is a photo somewhere of me tweaking his nipple, and he tweaked mine.
But
It
of
was
course, Mickey had had a
thrown
lot of
out.
surgery, so the nipple came off. It was very embarrassing. Sorry, mate. Put that back on.
So it was a mutual nipple tweaking scenario.
And did it go any further? Did romance blossom?
Not with me that night, no.
And why did you want your photo taken with Mickey Rourke?
Because he's Mickey Rourke. I also got my photo taken with Dustin Hoffman on the same evening, and what a miserable twat he is. No, it's just a showbiz tale. It's to make my life seem more
You
authentic.
do look quite like him,
Who?
Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, I thought you said Mickey Rourke for a second. That's Dustin Hoffman opening a door. And closing it again. So that's what happened. I tweaked Mickey Rourke's nipple.
I I think that all seems very plausible because I happen to know that you have a brother who possibly could have got an invite to the BAFTAs.
It was nothing to do with him. And that is true. It was nothing to do with.
Okay. Decision time then, Gordon, team captain.
We think Mickey Rourke. Sounds like a lovely Sun headline. Mickey Rourke tweaked my nipple.
Did Mickey Rourke tweak your nipple?
He did. Correct. It's true. Damn you, team.
Well done. Was it sore? Did you yelp?
I couldn't. I had to look cool and hard in front of Mickey Rourke. I couldn't. Ow! Stop it, Mickey! Get off! I had to. No, that's great. Do the other one. Come on. We bonded. No, it was.
Did you tweak his back?
I did tweak his back. Yeah.
How big
Brave
is he?
man.
Because in the wrestling movie, he seems to have really bulked
He's big
up.
and stocky and.
Yeah, because he was a sort of a wrestler for a while. Didn't he do wrestling? No, boxing.
Boxing,
He was
yeah.
a boxer.
Could have
Yeah.
been a contender.
We didn't chat much, to be honest with you. I just tweaked his nipple and walked away.
Because his career went actor, drug addict, boxer, actor again.
Yeah.
Nipple tweaker.
And then nipple tweaking.
I think there was a couple more drug addicts in.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think he's finished yet. Right. Well done, Mark. That's a good story.
That's a good
and
story. We didn't get any
absolutely
points,
true.
but,
it does mean that the best you can hope for is a draw. So,
Thanks.
Roisin.
Is there not a bonus round or what? What's this?
Oh, there might be a bonus round. There might not be. We'll see how we are for time. Roisin Donnelly, please.
Okay, I used to sing in a band called Contradiction.
That's a
That
lie.
sounds like a contradiction.
Did you ever perform in Russia?
Never performed in Russia.
Were you good?
We thought we were extremely good.
But you weren't. That was the contradiction.
We didn't.
Have
we
you two
didn't
got
get
some
a
history of
contract.
Has something going on?
No, I'm just
Yeah.
playing
This
with
is the PNG
contradictions.
days. Did you? What was your number one hit? What was your greatest song? Did you do cover songs? Did you have your own song?
Mostly we did our own material.
Oh, so tell me a name of one of your songs.
A contradiction.
Another one? Another contradiction. Contradiction, the B-side.
It's not true.
Contradiction
Another
by
song.
contradiction.
The Other Side of Love.
That's a contradiction too.
Yes. What were the
What
names? of the other-
genre were you performing in
It
iTunes
was-
land?
It was before the days of iTunes. So at that point, we'd have had to actually get a record contract to have gone much further. But we were sort of soft rock.
Soft rock.
Can you name the other members of your band, please?
Yes, there was Mike, John, and Barry.
Can you
Barry,
do
the
it-
bass
can you-
guitarist.
Can you sing us a chorus of your favourite song?
A contradiction.
Something from Contradiction, possibly.
Not if this event is being filmed.
No,
I
copyright.
think it's unfair without Mike, Barry, and John.
Can you
here.
remember the lyrics then?
Well, we could be. I could pretend to be Barry. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. But you're on the drums. Dum, dum, dum.
Mark is
dum,
as good as
ba-dum,
Mike.
dum, dum, dum,
I'll
dum.
provide the fart background.
And I'll tweak your nipples.
Rock and roll.
Right here. This is what
Experimental pop
Edinburgh's all
going
about.
on
Ladies and
now.
gentlemen, Roisin on Contradiction. Let's hear it.
This is why the professionals are the professionals.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not that confident in front of an audience.
In music, when you're in a band.
How old were you at the time?
16 to 19.
Oh,
16, 2, and 19.
16,
What did the young
17.
one?
Range.
Flash?
It was a
Yeah,
range.
That was the drum. It was only 2.
It was a long career to be undiscovered.
What venues did you play?
We played Glasgow pubs when I was still underage. And we played the Aragon in Bars Road. And we played various pubs in Sauchiehall Street. We played the Bonaccord.
In Glasgow, is it possible to be underage?
You've got 10 seconds.
Oh, what do we think?
No, I don't.
Time marches on.
I'm not sure.
You're both not sure.
I'm not convinced.
You see what I think
I thought it
she's
was false
doing.
until
I
the
think, I think it's true, but she's tried to look unsure to
I
make
think
us
so,
think
yeah.
it's false. But
Yeah.
that's why I think it's true.
Who was your publisher?
I've cocked up all the way along, so I'm
There's a
happy
list
to
of
go.
venues that made me think it might be
Do
true.
you think it's false?
think it's
Do you think it's
false.
false?
Yeah, I think it's false.
Do you think it's false?
No, I think it's true.
I sort of think it's true.
Go with the majority, but
Oh, you lie.
most singers I know would happily sing at any given opportunity in front of an
Is
audience.
that why you think it's false? because she's not.
I think it's
she's
a
not
But
had
that's
time
why I
to
think she's
warm up.
deliberately doing it
her
so that we don't
corporate
think.
career's got in the way of it.
Come on then, guys. Dream team.
What are you going to? Can I take the responsibility on my shoulders
Go on,
and
Captain
say
True.
true? Please be true. Don't humiliate me out of Edinburgh.
It's true.
Yeah!
Wow.
Captain Nipples.
Surprised me, Roisin.
I thought it was false until she
Because
didn't.
I once was at a stag do in the Aragon, and we started to sing, and we were thrown out because they said we don't have a license for music. And we said, our singing has been called many things in the past, but never music. So they must have had the license set up, or maybe it was after you'd played there. They revoked it. Contradiction.
Yeah.
Great name.
Come on, now that the pressure's off. A wee
Mark
chorus
said the
of
corporate career has got in the way.
the other,
Had I been good, that would have been my career.
the other side of love.
What is the other side of love?
It's a contradiction. Everything was a contradiction.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, I asked.
Quite intelligent, though.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
That's right. People
very
coming
deep.
out baffled.
Good. Was that music?
What's that? Was that any good? I
Were you
don't know.
postmodern?
But then if it wasn't good, maybe it was.
Quite postmodern.
Whatever happened to Barry, Mike, and John? Did they go on and form a band called Tripe? Do you still keep in touch? Do you hear from them?
No.
Barry the
Barry
bassist.
wrote songs. I went
Uh-huh.
to LA and wrote songs. And the other two are probably working for the NHS.
Or they
As
might have gone on to
musicians.
form single-minded.
Bedside musicians.
6'5", and it's Scott Morrison, Will Smith's hand double, with the final truth or lie of You Cannot Be Serious 2012, an annual event.
There's
yourself.
a theme in my ones, but I work for Diesel. Renzo Rosso, who is the owner of Diesel, is one of the most passionate men in the whole world. Loves his brand very much, and if you've been there for 3 years or more, each year there's a ballot drawn, and each country has a member of their team pulled out of the ballot, and you have to have a tattoo of the Mohican logo, which is our Diesel logo, somewhere on your body every 3 years. If you are chosen, you have no choice. If you do not have the Mohican tattoo, then Renzo fires you. I was chosen last year, and as such, have a Mohican tattoo on part of my body.
Wow. So, blue team, do you think that compulsory body mutilation is allowable in the corporate sphere?
That sounds entirely illegal. I mean, what if you had an infected needle and got hepatitis or AIDS from that tattooist?
No,
You'd be quite pissed off with Lorenzo, wouldn't you?
No, Renzo has about 8 tattoos himself. He has his own personal tattoo artist who comes in and does, and it's a ceremony in front of the whole of the business at a global event each year at Christmas.
Oh, so it's not just mutilation being forced on you, but it's a public
It's
humiliation as well.
Yeah, it's public, yeah.
Can you show us the tattoo?
Not right now, no.
Can you tell us which part of your body it's on?
It's on my lower half.
What would have been, sorry to interject, would have been funny if you stood up, showed us the tattoo, and then they went,
No.
That's why I can't.
I still think he's lying.
That's just hurriedly drawn biro.
Now, when you sell clothing,
Yes.
it doesn't say perfect for your bottom half.
What, my
So,
tattoo?
Yeah, where's the tattoo?
On my bottom half of my body. Bottom half of my body.
It's on his bottom.
Be-
I think it's on
You
his
have
bottom.
you have a choice. You either have it on the back of your shoulder, which is where Renzo has his, or on your bottom, where he likes people to have them. And
Well, of course, you
everyone has
didn't want to have it
drunk.
on your shoulder in case you had to be a stunt shoulder for Will Smith
Exactly.
in the future. So you have it
And
on
you might
somewhere.
have another job somewhere else, unless you're a.
If Will Smith does
Gay porn
hardcore
double.
porn, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where we're
yeah.
both going with that
Yeah,
joke.
thank
Right.
you. Well
so
rehearsed.
it's a Mohican.
It's a Mohican head.
You should have got it done in your head.
Yeah, should have.
Nasty.
It's not a real Mohican, of course. It says only the brave. So the idea is that the braver you are, thank you, Mum. It says the braver you are, the most painful place you will have it.
Oh, is that right?
Clearly not on my ball sack, but
Yeah.
somewhere.
Hi, kids.
Quite.
Surely it would be worse than your shaft.
Moving on.
Hello, Mum. Yeah.
Do, do, do.
But
This has
I'm
gone
thinking
Benny
if
Hill.
it was on your if it's on your botty bot.
Pardon?
Great heckle, nice.
Thanks.
Timing, charisma, that had the lot.
If,
So,
It was a great heckle till I hit the scrambler.
I couldn't
so
hear.
Only the Brave, correct me if I'm wrong, that is the perfume that Diesel sells.
Yeah, it's the same.
So your arse is a walking advert for Diesel. Essentially.
If people
I've
see
heard
me
some of your
walking,
chat-up lines, Gordon, but that one takes the biscuit.
it's a moving
If
advert.
it was a Mohican, it would have to be on one cheek. It couldn't be in the middle, because then it would look like bum fluff, wouldn't it? Just,
Yeah, it's on one side of my backside.
Because I've got Aramis written on my arse in tattoo. Just love the aftershave.
with a phone number underneath.
Yep. Well, what do we reckon, gang?
Time's up.
I mean, it seems illegal, surely, to force someone to have a tattoo.
Remember, it's an Italian business. There's nothing illegal in Italy. Believe
Oh, so
me.
it's like the mafia, is it?
It's
Just-
like if you don't have it done, you may as well not bother coming back to work on Monday.
so it's to show your commitment to the brand
Pretty
as well.
much, yeah.
And you
this
did
was
that.
by lottery. So it
a
could have been the
balance, yeah.
cleaning lady.
Yeah.
No, it's the lead team in each market has to have a tattoo. And last year it was Norway. The year before that it was the Spanish. The year before that it was the UK.
Tom Ford does the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Except you only need the T and the M on your back end.
Well, it's good if it wasn't Tommy
Blue
Hilfiger,
team,
'cause
this
that'd be
is
more
your
painful,
chance,
wouldn't it?
Chance to become, to set up an unassailable lead at 6-5, and there is, incidentally, a bonus round coming our way. So,
I think it's true. Do you think it's true? It's up.
one lie from the audience.
Asking machine first.
No, I don't think it's. I don't think it was compulsory. He may have a tattoo, but I don't think it was compulsory.
I have to say, of the 12 stories we've heard tonight, I find it the most intriguing.
What was wrong with the Wolves?
It's the socks that
laugh.
was wrong with the Wolves. I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? In that case, it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Well done. Is there anything in the diesel culture that is similar to that?
No, not at all. People do have a tattoo, but Renzo has a
I don't know if have any of you seen the Blanks here at the festival?
Yes.
The Fort Man. I went to see them 2 nights ago, and there was a girl ahead of us in the queue who was limping, and I noticed that her legs were covered in a freshly tattooed series of badly drawn signatures. And the night before, she had the 4 members of the Blank autograph her thighs, and then that afternoon she had them tattooed on her thigh, and went back to show the band, and they ignored her.
Because she's a cretin.
That's right. And it wasn't just like biro; she'd had it done in black, thick felt tip pen. It was a real mess. And I mean, whoever wrote the name up the back of her thigh. Yes.
Still, I do find a woman with a tattoo quite sexy, simply because she has paid someone to jackhammer her with a tiny prick thousands of times. Something I'd have done for free.
That's weird. That's wrong, isn't it?
family show.
Is it wrong?
There.
I'm
think it's
appalled.
wrong. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do is with the final people round, which you may have seen on the imposter television version of this, I'll award 2 points. So it could be a draw. So it's all or nothing. It's shit or bust. So we are now got.
Grammar good, have you?
Some words. A person who's going to come forward, and here he is. Up you come. Say hello.
Hello.
Would you like to tell us who you are?
Oh, my name's Timmy.
Timmy.
Timmy Presley. Got a clown show around the corner for the kids, and
All right.
from Clown Town, so I'm 10.
Tim is a clown from Clown Town, and Blue Team, would you now like to tell us how each of you know Tim? And then the Green Team will try and guess which of you is telling the truth. So, Mark first.
This is Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. He was the sax player in my band. And we fell out when he started to get work on a Saturday night when we like to do our gigs.
Okay. Gordon?
This gentleman in this outfit was the best man at my wedding.
In that outfit?
Yes.
Right. And Roisin, how do you know
My
Tim?
tattooed friend Timmy was a clown that we got to entertain some of the families at the Olympics. We had mothers and we had small children, and we wanted Timmy to make them laugh.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Okay, Green Team, which of those do you think is true, and which two do you think are false?
Where was the wedding? Can we ask this? Where was your wedding?
The wedding was in Adelaide, Australia. He's Australian.
Yeah.
He was in a band. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That would explain the coke problem.
That's the nose.
That's the least of
That's
it.
the nose.
And what was the name of the band?
The Big Shorts.
Pardon?
The Big Shorts.
The Big
Shorts.
Shorts. hence
It's a
clown.
contradiction.
What
Rasheen,
sort of
why
music
did
you
you choose him for the Olympics?
Although I've got the greatest professional respect for Timmy, we didn't choose him. We asked for a clown. Not necessarily a tattooed clown, but we ordered a clown.
From Clowns Are Us?
From a talent agent. As well as clowns, we had various other people provided by the talent agent without tattoos.
Did you see Timmy at work?
Yes.
Was he good?
Mostly he was very good. The American kids didn't understand why the clown had a tattoo.
Where is? Oh yeah. that's it.
Why have you got a tattoo, Timmy?
Oh, my friend did it while I was asleep. It's just permanent texture. It hasn't come off. So that's why I fell asleep. So I don't fall asleep around the kids because that's what they do. They don't shave your eyebrows anymore. They just...
Tattoo you up.
Is that? And you're from Australia, I'm guessing, or drunk, or probably both.
That's
If he's sorry, that was slanderous. If you're, why would you get somebody from Australia to come over for the Olympics? Would you fly, unless he lives over here?
Timmy lives here.
Timmy lives here, Scotland.
Timmy, I
You don't know exactly where.
where he lives, but
Okay.
he was in London for the Olympics, and he's now in Edinburgh for the festival because that's where lots of work and clowns are this week.
Yeah.
How do you know Gordon? Timmy?
6:15. Yeah.
6:15.
30 seconds to go,
Timmy,
guys.
How do you know Gordon?
Sorry?
How do you know Gordon?
I was the...
I'm not sure that Timmy's allowed to answer. I think
Oh.
the questions have to
He was
go
the
to
best man at my wedding. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he knew that, he would have said that straight away.
Hesitation.
We stopped him.
So I guess it's
difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's
I think it's Rasheen.
They're all
one of three stories. Have we flown Timmy in from London? Or have we brought him in from Adelaide for this gig tonight?
Very expensive, Joe.
Very
wouldn't it be?
expensive, but
All the way
he's-
from Adelaide.
best man at his wedding.
Was he in a band called what Shorts?
The Big Shorts.
The Big Shorts.
You think Rasheen?
I think it's Rasheen.
We
Time's up.
Going with the majority. You were, we believe, the clown at the Olympics for Rasheen.
Roisin, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
Never seen Timmy in my life.
Oh, well done.
You said you didn't lie.
Don't rub it in.
9-5.
Let's hear it for Timmy.
Who was the best man at my wedding?
Best man at Gordon's wedding. In that outfit. Brilliant. Well, that concludes You Cannot Be Serious, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed it down there as much as we have up here. It's we've got Gemma still in the room, but I think to kind of close things off, we should thank everybody, all of the panellists for taking part, Mark, Gordon and Roisin. And Mark and Scott. I was your host, Fred Macaulay, and I was in Mallorca on a family holiday when Kenny's brother Stuart contacted me to tell me the sad news, and unfortunately I couldn't be back for the funeral, but said, and it was Graham Atha who had also got in touch as well, and I said, listen, if there's ever anything happening through the Marketing Society in memory of Kenny, please include me in. And I didn't just mean a one-off. If there's anything happening in the future, you can count on me to come along and lend support for the big man. But I think to kind of wrap things up, I'd like to invite Stuart to come up and maybe just say a few final words. But from all of us, thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Cheers, Fred. Thank you. This is obviously a fantastic night for us. We've had a bit of an emotional last few months, as I'm sure you can all remember or imagine. I'm going to keep this short. I think I've only got about 45 minutes to do here. We were amazed at the time, the amount of phone calls that we got. One of the things we actually found on the first morning was the mad rush to try and phone people that were likely to find out about Kenny's death through Twitter. So it's sad that you've got to prioritise them above some of your distant family who don't use Twitter or Facebook, because we just didn't want people to find out through Twitter or Facebook messages. The messages that we actually got coming through on cards, phone calls, tweets, Facebook messages, and particularly the tributes that we got through the Drum and the Marketing Society and also the PSA were just totally overwhelming for us. We just constantly got these messages, and I'd read one out to Dan, and we'd constantly go, really? Kenny? Do people really think that about Kenny? To us, Kenny wasn't that great. Kenny was just either a dad for Ellen and Alex, a husband, or a big brother to me. So all those messages were fantastic for us. We've still got them. We'll cherish them. The family are all here tonight, and really, really appreciate you guys coming along. Ellen's here tonight. Ellen's the wee show-off. She's taken on Kenny's mantle for being the funny one. And the day after Kenny's death, just regarding Ellen, the day after Kenny's death, I had a word with her, and we were in the car, and it was one of these emotional, I'm your godfather, and this is, we're very close anyway, but I will always be there for you. If you ever get any questions you want to come and speak to him about, this was huge for me. And Ellen was just going, aye, all right, fine. Can we put the music back on, please? And I said, I'll always be there for her unless you phone me when you're pregnant and I'll come across to Edinburgh and kick you up and down Ballgreen Road. And I had the same conversation with Alex the next day, and he was a bit nonplussed about it. He couldn't make it tonight. He didn't really like Kenny. I think probably most of you will probably know that Alex he's the sportsman. He takes more after me than Kenny. And he plays for Hibs. He plays for the Hibs under-20s. And we actually got a call last week. I phoned Diane just to organise some things about coming through on Friday for something, and she said, you need to phone your nephew. I said, well, where is he? He was upstairs. Well, just pass the phone over. No, he's upstairs. Just phone him. I'm not going up the stairs. And he's on the computer, and he's not going to come down. So I phoned Alex, and I said, what's actually happened? I said, I have to phone you. Something's important happened. And Alex, being a teenage boy, came back and went, I said, what's happened? So what's important? And he said, well, nothing really important. And what was important was it just got a call and a letter through that day from the SFA for him to go out to, he plays for Hibs under-20s, as I said, to go out and play for Scotland under-19s in a tournament across Norway. So again, another proud uncle moment, and they keep going on. We've had so many fantastic support, so much support, and so much love from friends that knew the family very well, but people that knew Kenny from university days, through all these marketing days, through speaking days, through stand-up days. It's funny that Fred's actually doing, well, it wasn't that funny Fred was doing tonight.
Did my best.
Peculiar that Fred was doing tonight. The first time I ever saw Kenny doing stand-up was in Glasgow, in a wee club in Glasgow. I was there with Mum and Dad, and Dan was there as well. And Kenny was on the bill with Fred and Phil Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was and it was great, and I was sitting there extremely proud of my big brother. And at the end of the night, my mum came up to Kenny and he went, you were very good. Did you have to swear so much? It's just not fucking on. And of course, Kenny dined out in that for a long time. I just want to finish off. Thanks very much for you guys, for the panel, and for Fred for doing this tonight. Thanks very much to Gemma for putting this together, and I'm sure she had loads of support to do it. So thanks very much. From me, can have a round of applause for Gemma as well. Thanks, Gemma. And also, more importantly, I'd really like to thank you guys. One, for supporting Kenny, for coming here tonight. We've done a load of things for some fundraisers for Diabetes UK. Kenny was diagnosed at the beginning of the year for Diabetes UK. There's a Just Giving page for it, and I'm sure you'll find links for it wherever that may well be. Don't know whether Gemma's taking donations. If you are, fantastic, because I'm dying for a drink. But so far, we've raised £1,500 just in the last month for the Just Giving for Diabetes UK. So again, if you've donated that, thanks very much. If you've not, put your fucking hand in your pocket. Thanks very much, and I'd really like to just thank you all. Thank you very much.